Hello, my name's Mike Parker. I'm the Chaplain General of the British Army. And I'm training to run the London Marathon in aid of the Army Benevolent Fund. Joining me in that preparation are 26 people connected to chaplaincy. And today, we get to meet one of our chaplains based here in the fantastic surroundings of Cyprus. Padre Tom, introduce yourself, Tom.
Morning everyone, my name is Padre Tom. I am currently the chaplain to Four Scots and Acadia Station out here in sunny Cyprus.
It's great to see you, Tom. I'm just over here for a few days doing some church services for Easter. Tom's clearly based here all the time. Tell us a little bit about life in Cyprus, Tom.
It's brilliant. You've got the sun, you've got the beach, you've got all the great things for the kids to do. The weather's great, the food's great. But obviously there's the challenges of being away from family.
So you've been with us for a few years now?
Yeah, this is coming up to I think April is I'll have done 6 years with the department.
So talk us through those 6 years. Who have you served with over that time?
So over the 6 years I've served with, my first unit was 7RLC, and then I moved to the Poachers, to Royal Anglian, but at the same time, throughout both of those postings I was covering one military working dogs, which was great fun, very different type of unit. And after that, I was down in Plymouth with 2-9 Commando, and then from 2-9 Commando, I've come to here to cover Four Scots.
So look, one of the things we're doing as part of this Run a Mile with the CG project, Tom, is thinking about the work of our charity partners. Do you have any contact with our charity partners here on the island of Cyprus?
Yeah, I mean, with our roles, of course, there's a lot of, we deal with a lot of bereavement and a lot of people who just are in a position where they might need a bit of extra support, a bit of extra help at just certain parts of their life. And so quite regularly, especially back in the UK, we would lean on them quite heavily because they know what to do, they're really helpful, and they offer something outside of the military.
One of the things I've been asking the chaplain spending this time with me is how they balance their physical and spiritual preparation to do the work we do. How do you feel about that balance, Tom, in the way that you go about your ministry here?
Well, if I'm honest with you, I'm a bit fortunate in the fact that where my house is, it's possibly less than 100 yards to the gym. So I don't really have any excuses. I mean, they just built a paddle court as well. Again, 100 yards to my house. So between that and the church being 50 yards away from my house, I don't really have an excuse. So it's right there on the doorstep. So if I don't, I suspect I would be pretty bad form, yeah.
And equally, if you think the gym is close, your house is even closer
yeah,
to the church.
That's true, yeah. So, I mean, obviously God's everywhere, and so we're quite fortunate that wherever I am is ultimately my mission field. But yeah, having a beautiful church literally on my doorstep is quite handy, let's be honest, yeah.
So as you reflect on what it means to be a chaplain in the British Army, what are the things that have surprised you about coming into this world?
So some of the things that have surprised me would be there's a real hunger, and I think as a chaplain we get to be in that space of that sort of moral and spiritual component, and there's a hunger there, and they want to seek things, they want to look for things, and as a chaplain we get to meet that. And I think I was a little surprised of how hungry they were, or should I say, the army still has a great love for chaplaincy, and there's not many people you come across where they don't have a lovely story or a nice story or a happy story of the padre they've had. It shouldn't really surprise me, but it's a nice thing to hear when I do.
So Tom, I'm intrigued. Life in Cyprus with the British forces, and particularly for chaplains, how do you structure your day? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's interesting out here because I'm sort of covering both station, which has it's like a sort of microcosm of itself, and the Four Scots, which is just a little bit down the road. There's some structure to it in the sense of, yes, there's meetings and there's routine that you take part in, but equally some of it is cutting about and speaking to people and making sure you are visible because of the physical size of the area that you cover. Just making sure that you're present as much as you can. Day-to-day routine can not always be a sort of 9 to 5 because that's not really what we do. And then church is a big part of it as well. We have We have quite a thriving congregation here at the moment, which is wonderful. And that's most of my Sunday is taken up by that. And then probably half a day in the week before that, just prepping for it.
So talk a bit about your own journey into chaplaincy. What was it that attracted you? How did you make that step?
Yeah, so I appreciate we've only got a mile to tell this story, so I'll try and be as quick as I can. Many moons ago, I was a soldier. Unfortunately, I was injured on one of my Afghanistan tours. And when I deployed again after that, I realised that that's probably been me done with the infantry. And at the time, I was a Christian, and I was asking God, what is it you want me to do next? I've done this since I was 17. What have you got for me? And very clearly out on Herrick 10, I felt the call to chaplaincy. A wonderful chaplain at the time called John, who's sadly no longer in the department, but he said, why don't you be a chaplain? And it sort of just went from there. There's a whole other part to it, which we don't have time for now, but that was the initial call, and I felt that was the right thing to do, and left the military to go to university and became a prison chaplain and so on, just to really hone my skills, if you like, as a chaplain and get that experience before I joined. So making sure that when I did join, hopefully I was the best I could be when I got here.
So how are you coping with the jocks? How are Four Scots treating you? That must have been a bit of a cultural change for you.
Do you know what it is? They're absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love the history. I love the 15 different outfits they have for everything. They're just really good, honest working people, and they're very good at what they do. And from top to bottom to top, they just get on with their job, and it's wonderful, and they have fun. They do some really great stuff, some really fun things, and also some pretty mad things as well.
So we are at the moment running by a location where Tom does baptisms in the sea. That must be amazing, mate.
Yeah, got one coming up soon. I think we should be baptising roughly about, just waiting on final numbers, but anywhere between 5 and 8, just in the sea to my right, and it's going to be great fun. We'll do a service in the church and then put our baptism gear on, as it were, and walk down the 300 yards to the beach from the church and get some people in the water and celebrate their journey of faith. It's going to be great fun. One of my favourite things to do.
So look, Tom, I'm really grateful for you helping me out with this mile. That by my reckoning is the mile done. So
excellent.
You can get on with the rest of your day. And I can worry about the 26 miles that are coming up in just a few weeks.
All the best for that.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Cheers.